Hi, I'm Alana and welcome back to Yogayin. I've had a lot of people write into me just talking about the pain that they're experiencing in their lower back. I do have a couple of videos for lumbar scoliosis, which is scoliosis of your lower spine. But these are people who are just suffering pain in their back from whatever. It could be women and they've got their periods and they've got pain in their lower back, or it's just that they're just not sitting correctly at their desk. But anyway, at the end of a long day, they've got pain in their lower back or they're waking up with it. So I put together a sequence today for you specifically. There's 3 postures that we'll be doing, and I hope you enjoy. Namaste. So first of all, you're going to come down onto your mat, and I'm going to get you to come into a cat pose. Now this is a pose that I teach a lot, and that's because it's really good for working with the spine and determining where any problems are in the spine. So I want you to place your hands just underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingers nice and wide and turn your inner elbows towards one another. And just make sure that your knees are underneath your hips, because a lot of us think our hips are much wider than they are. So when you found your place, I want you to just inhale and gently stretch, opening up the throat. So your focus is here and not in your lower back. And then exhale, curl from your tailbone all the way through to the head, drop it down. And inhale and open. And exhale and curl. Now this is a really good way of determining where in your lower back the pain actually is. For instance, for me, I can feel it right here, just above the sacrum. Just do a couple more rounds in your own time. And then when you're ready, we're going to do a pose that I call Sexy Cat. And I want you to take your knees out a little bit wider. And then we're just going to circle the hips. Now, this is one of the best poses I know for working into the lower back. I actually teach it to a lot of women who are pregnant for their labour, because during labour you can get a lot of pain in the lower back. But it's really good for releasing off the hips, releasing off the groin, releasing off that lower back. So if you're in a chair all day or you're on a long flight, this is a really good way of releasing the muscles. So you just do a few rounds in one direction, clockwise, and then counterpose that with a few rounds in the other direction. Now, if you find that's too difficult, that you can't actually circle the hips, just swivel them from side to side, turning your head to look at your hips. And you can practice that now if you like. But you'll probably find, if you are able to circle your hips, that it's not nearly as effective as actually circling. So that's our first pose for the lower back. The second pose is a pose called Apanasana, and for that, we're going to come down onto our back, place our hands over the knees, lie the head down, and then we're going to gently inhale the knees away from the body, and then exhale, bring the knees in towards the chest. Inhaling the knees away from the body, exhaling them back towards the chest. And this is also a really good pose for easing out the lower back. And really work with your breath, particularly the exhalation. Just practice 6 rounds in your own time, and then hug the knees and gently roll from side to side. And then for our last pose, we're going to gently bend up the knees and take hold of the outer edge of the foot. Now this is called happy baby pose for obvious reasons. Babies love this position. If you find this is too strenuous on your hips, I want you to just lace your elbows under your knees. Lying back down, and this works into your lower and your middle back, rocking from side to side. And just easing out any pain in the lower back. And then you can release that. When you're ready, roll off to one side and make your way back up. So that's the 3 poses for lower back. Sexy cat, Uppanasana, meaning that you're going to bring your knees into the belly, and then happy baby pose, which works into your middle back as well. I hope that helps. Please let me know. Namaste.